Alright, how's everybody doing today? Back again with another video for you guys. And today what I have for everyone is another crazy deals video. In particular, this one has to do with the best smartphones you can get right now today for up to but not exceeding $500. And you know, I thought this one would be fun considering that the holidays is getting ready to roll around, and the fact that I talked about some of these devices in my second to last update video, letting you guys know a few things that I was getting ready to pick up. Well, here is a deals video inspired by that. So without further ado, let's get started. And keep in mind, there's no particular order. I was about to say audio. No particular order to this video. So up first, the first device I want to talk about with you guys is the Google Pixel XL. Let's start with that. So now I know some of you guys may be wondering, why are you going with the Google Pixel XL and not the Google Pixel 2 XL? And I gotta keep it straight with you guys. The main reason why I'm going with the older XL as opposed to the newer one is that price. Ain't nobody got that type of money to be dropping on that style of smartphone. I mean, I could buy a decent car for that price. And who knows, someday soon I might need to buy a decent car for that price. But it is what it is. And with the price cuts on the first generation XL, I figured why not? Because when you think about it, you're getting the same or similar performance as the XL2 at a cheaper price. The only thing you're really losing out on is probably speakers and the screen. Other than that, the software is the same. A lot of the software features should trickle down to the original XL because, again, they're both stock Google devices, and you know Google devices get updates first. So it is what it is. And you guys know I'm a sucker for the 5.5 inch display, and that's what this one is. So the Google Pixel XL has a 5.5 inch Quad HD display. It also features 4 gigs of RAM, and I think it's a 5 megapixel camera up front and a 12 megapixel camera in the rear, which can record 4K videos and do slow motion and do 1080p and so on and so forth. The one downside that I would say the Pixels have is the lack of micro SD card expansion. Well, another downside would probably be the lack of wireless charging, but it is what it is. Not everybody uses wireless charging. But if I had to say a downside, that would probably be it, and the lack of front-facing speakers. But other than that, with the introduction of the new Pixels, the original Pixel XL has taken a price cut. So y'all can see, I don't know if y'all caught it before I clicked in, but the one that's actually in my cart, as my Amazon cart swings for a little bit of a boo-boo. I gotta check my internet, it's been acting up today. The one that's actually in my cart is there for $500, as you can see right there. And at $500, if I had $500 to spend, I can easily recommend picking this up. Stock Android, a really good device, really good cameras, fast charging, good stuff. And again, since it's a Google device, I'm going to get them updates first. So that's number 1 on this list. Coming in at number 2, let's go with the Sony Xperia XA Premium. That's right, Premium. And the reason why I would recommend this over some of the devices on this list is the fact that it again comes in at that sweet spot, for me anyways, which is 5.5 inches. It offers a 4 4K display. That's right, 4K. So the whole UI runs in 4K, and you'll be able to watch 4K videos at native resolution. So no need to do any extra stuff. And again, you're getting the standard flagship loadout with micro SD card expansion. So you got 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage. It's running 7.1. They have some really good cameras on these Sony devices. Let's be honest here, Sony provides the majority of the devices in smartphone cameras today, aside from maybe Samsung, and maybe, I think that's it. Yeah. So you already know that the cameras on the Xperia devices are some really good cameras, and that display with Sony software and them cameras, if I had $500, oh yes. And you can see that although it says more than $500 right there, the one that I actually have in my cart, I can pick up for $480. So a lot less than $500, or a little bit less, depending on how you look at it. And that's a really solid device for that price. And that's a really nice feature set as well. And keep in mind, everything that I'm talking about on this deals list is unlocked for GSM carriers. Aside from the Pixel will work on all carriers, and it will also work on Google's Project Fi, which is a mixture of T-Mobile and Sprint. So maybe this is your first time picking up a smartphone and you don't want to go straight to a mainstream manufacturer. You know, you can give Google a try. At Project Fi, they really only charge you for the data that you use, and you get unlimited talk and text and cheap international calls. So there is that. But moving on, the next device I want to talk about is the HTC U11, and by far this is the cheapest device on this list. And again, it offers a similar feature set to pretty much every device on this list. So it has 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage. I think it has a, I want to say 5.9 inch display, or no, 5.5 inch. The U Ultra has a 5.9 inch. So this one has a 5.5 inch quad HD display. It has waterproofing, but it doesn't have wireless charging. And this guy offers some really, really good cameras. And you get that micro SD card support as well. And HTC's software is some of the best. Sorry about that notification, guys. I forgot to turn that down before I started the video. Why do I always forget to do that? I don't know. But as said, HTC offered a really, really solid device right here. And at that price, which is what y'all saw before I jumped in, I think it was $365. Y'all can see it down there in the U section. So $5 in shipping and handling, so $370. At that price tag of $370, I can easily recommend picking this device up. You're really gonna have a blast, trust me, and I can't wait to pick it up myself. So, moving on, the next device that I want to talk about with you guys, let's do this one. So the next device is the iPhone 6s. Yes, guys, you didn't hear that wrong. The iPhone 6s. And I know you're probably saying, the 6s? Why not the 7, the 8, or the 10? And, you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it with you guys. Mainly, it comes down to the price. That and the fact that I'm not going to really take advantage of all that portrait stuff that the newer devices offer. And the newer devices are losing out on a few features. In particular, if you go with the 10, you're losing out on that Touch ID. You're also losing out on that headphone jack. Okay? If you go with the 8, the 7, the 8 or the 7, you're losing out on that headphone jack. And a lot of people still want the headphone jack because we have quality earphones. Now, me, myself, I can go either way. But again, as I said before, the main reason why I didn't recommend those others is that young price. Ain't nobody got time to be paying those prices. But for the price that you get here, which is $430, $465 if you get it used, refurbished like new. But for $430, you're getting a nice display. You're getting 128 gigs of storage. You're getting the ability to shoot 4K video. You still have that Touch ID, so you get a really fast fingerprint scanner. And since it's iOS, you're going to get the latest and greatest software updates. Apple's always good with the software updates. So that's why I go with the 6S over the 7, the 8, or the 10. Alright, so the next device I want to talk about with you guys, let's go with this one. So this is the Moto Z2. And this one is actually interchangeable with the Z2 Force. And again, this guy offers the same loadout as pretty much everything on this list. So you got 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage. You do have micro SD card support with this guy. You're getting some really good cameras. You're getting a fingerprint sensor. You're getting a 5.5 inch display. Now the differentiating factor with this guy is the fact that you're getting, was it 2 cameras on this? No, I think this one was 1, the Force S2. But you're getting some really good cameras and you're getting Moto mod support. So that means you can snap on different mods. So you can do style shells with the newer style shells, incorporate wireless charging, you get a battery mod, you got a camera mod, you got a speaker mod. So that's some really, really good support there. And you got a bunch of different mods, which increase and expand the functionality of your device. And as I said, this is interchangeable with the Z2 Force, which has the shatterproof display. Another reason why I could recommend this over some of the devices on this list is that you're running a pretty much stock version of Android with Motorola's custom improvements. So you got the twist to launch the camera, you got the chop to launch the flashlight, and you got some other Motorola gestures. So that's another reason why this guy made the list, and some reasons why I can recommend this over some other devices on the list. A lot of people prefer a stock Android experience, and myself included in that list. And that being said, I know y'all see a hefty price tag, but again, if you're willing to shop around on either eBay, Craigslist, I think this guy is available at Best Buy. Right now, I know T-Mobile is running a special for the Z2 Force for $500. So if you're willing to shop around, I'm sure you can find this guy at some really good prices. So don't be scared away by the price that you see on screen. Now, and to be honest with y'all, it's a really, really solid device. I actually played around with it a bunch at the T-Mobile store, and it's some really, really good stuff there. Now, keeping it moving, the next device I want to talk about with you guys, I think I'm going to save these two for last, is the Samsung Galaxy S8. Now, this device, again, don't be scared by the price that you see on the video. Again, always shop around. Check out Best Buy. Check out Craigslist. Check out eBay. Check out Swappa. You're going to get some really good deals on this device. And as more devices come around, this device will only get cheaper. But in terms of all-around feature set, I would have to say that this is the most feature-packed device on this list. You're getting a really, really good display. You're getting some really good cameras. You're getting 4 gigs of RAM, you're getting 64 gigs of onboard storage with micro SD card expansion. You're getting IP68 water and dust resistance. You're getting fast wireless charging. You're getting regular wireless charging. You're getting fast charging overall. And with the Galaxy series, you're getting the addition of the DeX dock, which turns the phone experience into more of a desktop style experience. And if you're willing to shop around, there's other DeX like docks that are cheaper than the $150 DeX from Samsung. So that being said, y'all can see why this device made the list. And I know some of y'all may say, but it's going to slow down over time. Well, based on some of the videos that I've seen with the Android Oreo betas out on this guy runs really, really good. And a lot of that Samsung lag, a lot of users are saying is going with the Oreo update. But yeah, it is what it is. But at that price of $500 or less, I can easily recommend this. And honestly, I've been waiting for that price to drop just a little bit more, and then I can consider picking this guy up somewhere down the line. But I will be picking up this guy somewhere in the future, so y'all be on the lookout. But that is what it is. Now let's move on to the next one. Alright, so up next, I got the LG G6 Plus. And now, I know some of you guys may be saying, Plus? E? What you talking about? Now, the Plus series overall is LG's highest spec series. Okay? It usually has the maximum amount of RAM that LG is willing to put into a device and the maximum amount of storage, with certain features give or take the region at which you pick it up at. Other than that, this is pretty much compares side by side with the LG G6, other than the storage and the inclusion of the DAC or wireless charging. I think the Plus series includes both. So you're getting 4 gigs of RAM on this guy. You're getting a 5.7 inch Quad HD display. You're getting 128 gigs of storage with micro SD card expansion, so on and so forth. The only difference between this and the regular G6, other than the price, I think this guy right now is going for $440, $450. Earlier I think it was going for $500, so you can see why I made this list. Whereas the G6 is going for like $380, $400, $500 brand new. So that's the only difference between this and the G6. And if given the option, I would definitely recommend this over the G6, because everybody needs that extra storage. If you have that amount of storage, that means you don't have to spend extra money buying a micro SD card. Granted, this would be the point where I say a micro SD card can only improve the storage, but LG does not allow for adaptable storage on their devices. So even if you did put a micro SD card in, you can't make it adaptable storage. You can only use it as portable storage. So having that amount of storage with a micro SD card is not really going to do much, but it is what it is. And that, guys, is why the LG G6 Plus made this list. Now, moving on to the last two on this list, and probably two of the two main devices that I really can't wait to get my hands on. It had to be the OnePlus 3T and the Essential Phone PH1. Now, let's start off with the 3T. But that being said, in terms of storage, they have the same storage, but different and slightly different internal specs. But let's start off with the OnePlus 3T. And yes, I know guys, you guys are probably wondering, yo E, 3T? How come you ain't go with the 5T? You know? Yes, I know the 5T just got announced. At the recording of this video, it's not available yet. But yes, you can include the 5T in this list, as well as that base model is going to come in right around $500. And that base model is 6 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. Keep in mind, with the OnePlus devices, you don't get expandable storage, so you kind of want to go for the highest storage amount possible out of the box. And keep in mind, the base model of the OnePlus 5T makes the list at $500, but the higher end model of the 5T does not make the list, because that one is 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage for $600. So that one's clearly outside the spectrum of this list. And to be honest with you, you guys already know the basis for products and devices that I'm willing to pick up for the channel is, or the max amount is $280. For certain devices, I'm willing to make exceptions, but anything over $500 is kind of where I draw the line. That's kind of getting a little too expensive for these type of devices. That's a decent used car. You know what I'm saying? So yes, the 5T makes this list, but the it's not available right now, and the higher end 5T does not make the list. But it has your standard loadout, and I would easily recommend the T series over the standard series, because that seems to be their highest series. You know how Samsung has the 8 and then the Note? Well, OnePlus has the regular and then the T. And I could easily recommend going for the T over the regular. And yes, I know this doesn't have the dual camera setup, and you know, it doesn't have the portrait mode and all that good stuff. To be honest with you guys, I played around with some of that stuff in the T-Mobile stores and carrier stores, and honestly, that's not the type of thing that I would use. If I did have a second camera, I would prefer that it has a wide-angle lens, kind of like what you see on the G6. But that being said, this is still a great option. The 3T is still a great option, and the 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage is awesome. And you get your standard stuff. You get your fingerprint sensor. You got your front and rear firing 60 megapixel cameras. The front camera has optical image stabilization, and it can be used on all GSM carriers. And it hits that sweet spot for me with a 5.5 inch display. And it has some of the fastest charging available today with fast charging. Up next, last but certainly not least, is the Essential Phone PH1. And the 3T, if you didn't see it there, is available for $480, which fits it squarely inside the range of pricing for this list. Now, last but certainly not least is the Essential Phone PH1. And this pretty much checks all the boxes for a flagship on this list at a really good price. So you got 4 gigs of RAM, you got 128 gigs of storage, you got really good build quality with the ceramic and metal construction. You got a 5.7 inch Quad HD display, you got really good front facing cameras with a really good rear facing camera. Now, I did read and see videos that say that the front and rear facing cameras do have their issues, but Essential as far as I've been hearing, it's been really good with those updates. So at that price tag of $450, I can really recommend this device. And guys, you are getting a stock Android experience with no bloatware. Absolutely no bloatware. And at $450, again, I can easily recommend this device. And it is unlocked to work on all carriers. Okay? And you get a fingerprint sensor and fast charging, if I didn't say that. Alright, and it does have modularity built in with those pins on the back, which means that you can connect. Right now I think they have a 360 camera. They're going to be coming out with a wireless charging mod and some other mods in the future. But right now I think the 360 camera is the only thing that's available. But it is what it is. And that, my viewers, is why this guy makes the list. Has everything you need in a nice, affordable package. And it has Android with absolutely no bloatware, so you can really set this guy up exactly how you would like. And Essential seems to be doing really good with those software updates. I think that does it. That pretty much covers every phone I wanted to talk about on this list. So really guys, if you guys have $500 to spend, there is a plethora of options. No need to save up and go for some ridiculously expensive devices. There's a plethora of decent, affordable flagship devices available. Now I know $500 is still a lot of money, but if you have $500 to spend, I can easily recommend any of these devices. Anyways, and y'all know I'm going to do my best to bring these devices into the channel to put through the review process for you guys. And then I'm going to set out to find budget devices that could tear these devices apart. So y'all be on the lookout for these devices. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, please help your boy out and give it a thumbs up. That really does help me out. You don't know how much. If you want to see more raw, uncut content like this, please be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Please don't forget, if this video has piqued your interest, don't forget to check out the video description, because that's going to be where all the links for everything that I've talked about will be down in the video description. And as always, if you guys know anyone out there looking for some high quality, affordable devices and products at some really great prices, please share with them my channel, because I'm doing this for everyone, because we all deserve the best. Also, I just want to throw out real quick, guys, please let me know what you think of the video and the audio quality. The last two deals videos were shot using the cameras on the LG G6 at 1080p at 18:9 ratio. This deals video was shot using the 20 megapixel camera on the Motorola Xperia edition at 4K resolution. So you guys let me know how the video looks and how the audio sounds. And this one is taking advantage of that little tip that I threw out. So I'm using the Open Camera app. So I have an unlimited amount of 4K recording time right now, as this guy is being recorded in 4K. So check that little tip out. And also, if you have a phone that has the ability to make your SD card your internal storage, that's also going to help with the Open Camera app. So that's why I can shoot pretty much limitless 4K video. Well, at least until the phone gets so hot that it kind of turns the camera off and then I gotta restart it. But it is what it is. Anyways, please let me know how this footage compares to the G6 footage that I used in the prior deals videos. Anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed the video, and I hope everyone has a great day. Peace. Catch you in the next one.